In 2020, I was creating work under the name Tsukiko Art. I created this piece, Moonbath. This turned into a 12-piece series of different art pieces based around witches taking spiritual baths in different scenarios. I sold this bath series on Etsy, and it was quite popular. It even got stolen and sold on Amazon. Over the years, my art style and tastes have changed, and looking back at the very first piece of the series, I have come to realize that there are things that I would love to change about this piece. Things that I wish I did better and would love to improve. So today I'm going to do that. So before I start the speed paint, I do want to go over a few things that I reflect back on and really dislike about the piece now that I look back on it 4 years later. The first thing is the bottom of the piece. I remember when I was first drawing it and I had no idea what to fill the bottom with, so I just threw in some witchy objects on the floor and a poorly drawn cat and called it a day. I really dislike how it made the image look, so I'll probably be sitting the bath more towards the bottom of the piece and filling the page more towards the top. I loathe the color of the tub, I shan't say more. The random broken floating crystal in the window, it just serves no purpose. The right side of the image has no purpose to it. I might just add a shelf or something, I'm not really sure yet. I'm not really feeling the space buns anymore. I used to wear space buns when I was drawing this piece, but it's not really part of my style and aesthetic anymore, so I might not add them, but I may. I'm not really sure yet. There's a random white splotch by her hand in the water. I don't know why it's there and it really bothers me, so obviously I want to fix it because of that. And then I just feel like there's like no color scheme with this piece. It's like a weird mix of blue and purple color schemes, and I feel like there's some parts that just don't match with the flow of the piece, and it's really off-putting to me. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I wanted to do was start out working on the perspective. As I mentioned, the things that I did not like how the bottom of the piece looked originally, so I went ahead and laid the tub more towards the bottom. I do fix the shape of the tub later on, don't worry. But so I ended up nixing the idea of all of the objects at the bottom, and then I put the cat in the windowsill this time instead of putting that random floating crystal there. And then I'm just going in now and just putting in my base colors. I end up changing the color of the tub overall to lighten up the piece. That was like a big thing for me. I really felt like the piece was just so dark, the original one, and I don't know, like looking back at it, there's just so many things I wish I would have done a little bit better with like the overall aesthetic of the piece, and I am excited to go in and finally take the time to redo it. I think the original piece took me about 20 hours and this one took me about 4, so I definitely cut down on my process a little bit. This time I'm just going in and shaping in my colors. I'm painting on one layer at this point, and I'm just going in and blotching in colors and shaping out aspects of the piece that I want to refine with a smaller brush where needed, and then going in with a larger brush to apply larger colors, larger areas of color. I do want to take a moment to talk about the importance of redrawing your art. I think it's a pivotal aspect for artists, and I think it's extremely important for artists to do. Not only does it show you the impact that your hard work has provided for you in your process and in your improvement in your art over the years, but I feel like it provides you with a immense boost in your attitude towards your work and can provide you a attitude change and how you see your progress and where you are at as an artist today versus where you were 4 years ago, for instance. We'll just use that as an example because of this piece. I know that when you go back and redraw a piece, especially one that was popular or one that you feel was more one that you were super proud of, it can be scary. And it can be something that you're unsure of how the results will be. And it can be something that you can take on as a project that you're excited about, but you're worried about how other people will perceive the project. But just understand that you are making progress as an artist, and the style at which you paint and the style at which you do your work changes over the years. Your ideas, your aesthetic, everything changes as in your artistic flow, and you deserve to be able to go back and change your work without fear of how people will feel about it. I can understand like why it would be a little scary to make a large change to a piece that you feel was important on your journey. But I feel like it's important for you to just go ahead and do it for yourself. This was something, when I looked at this piece, I no longer felt proud of it. I no longer felt a connection to it because I didn't feel like it was something that showed off my current style, nor did it show off my current skill. So I felt like it was something that I really needed to redo for myself. I really felt like it was something that didn't show off my abilities to the current day. And for instance, I want to sell at conventions starting in April of next year. I have a convention lined up. I can't feel proud selling the original piece, knowing that that's not how I currently draw and what my current aesthetic is and what my current style is. Like, that's just not really me. And so I wanted to create a newer version to have it more in line with who I am as an artist, and also be able to see where I'm at with my current style and see what skills I'm better able to apply to this piece as well. I feel like overall the piece does look better. I like how I lit up the piece more. I made it more consistent with a purple, I can't think of the words, purple color theme. Instead of having it like the blue color theme, I think the purple looks a lot better. I like it a lot more, in my opinion. I like the tub a lot more, it being a lighter color. I didn't add as many trinkets around the tub because the trinkets the first time took me ages. And I hated it. I hated drawing all of the trinkets. I hated drawing all of the plants. And so I didn't add quite as many. But I also feel like I didn't make the piece as like jumbled and as like messy. And so I'm more content with this version of the piece. Like I'm quite pleased with it. I really just am quite happy with how this one ended up turning out. It's one of my favorite redraws that I've done. And as I mentioned, I believe that doing redraws of your work is pivotal for an artist. I think it's extremely important that you redraw an old piece from a couple years ago and you compare where you're at as an artist, especially if you're in a rut or you can't think of anything new, because it proves that you are not a failure as an artist because you are making progress and you are doing the damn thing and you are an artist. And that is, you are drawing something and you are creating something. Whether it's a redraw, whether it's a new piece, you are doing something, and that's what's important. And I think that just being able to create is what is the most important thing. So I like the new piece. I think it's very pretty. I went ahead and drew one little plant. I hate drawing plants. So I decided to, just like I mentioned, keep the trinkets kind of at a minimum this time around. I really didn't want to do too many, but I wanted to focus on lighting throughout the piece. I decided to add some tarot cards on the little desk thing, and then I did keep the fog around the bath just so that there was something in the front, but nothing that kind of overtook the piece. So this is the final piece. I'm really quite pleased with it. I think it's very pretty. And these are the two pieces together, 2020 versus 2024. Which one is your favorite?